Providing you commentary from the field is going to be Wave and Lawler. Take it away, guys.
Thanks so much, Axel Toss. I'm Wave Punk, joined here by the wonderful Lawler. And Lawler, Genesis versus Exodus. We got a match of biblical proportions here.
Yeah, I'm going to be apologetic for this right away, but Moses leaving Genesis and going Exodus to hopefully bring them to the Promised Land. Sorry, guys.
The Promised Land.
Yeah,
land.
Shout out to Johnny Boy for that terrible joke.
It's get out. Just get out right now. My goodness. But this match, like they said, we got a team that's 12-8. We got a team that's 11-9. Every game is going to be such a huge difference here as they fight for those top four spots. This is amazing.
Yeah, we look at the difference between these two teams. A very heavy defense coming out from Moses and very strong offense coming out from Espeon. But luckily for Espeon, despite that stat, you don't want those saves to happen in the first place. I'm curious to see which team is be the one that makes it to that half field and pushes it back in better.
We have Genesis in the blue with Exodus in the orange as we get underway here in game number 1. Ball going on target. Looks like we might be having a reset, though. That first goal will not be matter. We'll be having a restart on this game, and we'll be moving back and getting something figured out there. But my goodness, you were talking about Espeon, Moses. This matchup, we got a great defender. We got a great offensive player. These guys are really good.
Yeah, between the two teams, Moses has had 39 saves already, as it showed in that previous stat. And that's insane. He's tied for, or he's second in North America so far. But Pluto's right behind him at third. So battle of defense, I hope it doesn't come down to that, because as I was saying, they need to contest at the midfield and push those back in rather than it even getting on their side of the net to show a really good defense.
Absolutely. They were talking about this over at the desk, that 41% shooting percentage from Espeon. Very, very strong offensive player. Not the kind of guy you want to be having taking shots at your net. You know, Moses, second best in saves in the league right now, but he hasn't been playing against Espeon.
Right. You're going back and forth with these two teams and how close they've truly been. These games matter so much because these teams are the ones that are pretty much fighting for third and fourth in the standings. But we've seen how well Exodus can play. I mean, they had such a rough fight in that first week playing against some of the better teams. And now they have an opportunity to really separate themselves from the rest.
I mean, it looks like we're going to have Genesis in the blue, Exodus in the orange to start us off here on DFH in game number 1. Try number 2. Here we go. Pluto going to win that kickoff, sending it over towards the orange half. And it looks like there's a bit of a name tag mix-up again, but that's all right. It'll fix itself here momentarily. Moses popping this one up for his teammates. We'll see if they're able to try and push this one out. Espeon lurking in goal, waiting for this one. We'll see if they're able to push it away.
Yeah, Quinn trying to dribble it upfield, but getting read easily by this team of Exodus. It demoing them in front of the net. It completely stops all possession that they have.
G hanging back. Quinn try and pop this one away. And Moses tries to set that one up. Here's the shot. Oh, but they're going to clear that away. Good touch from Pluto to clear that one away from his goal.
Man, Turtle getting up early and knocking that aside. I thought they had a free shot opportunity.
So they're setting this one up. Quinn's trying to take a shot. It goes high. Let's see if they're able to push this one out. Genesis pressing this one around to try and get the shot onto net. Exodus couldn't get it into the goal, though. It's going to be clearing it around the corner again.
You see Moses stepping up early and bringing this all the way downfield. Just that pinch hitting off that backboard. Pushing it way too hard in front of net. Nobody there to follow it up.
Clear here, up onto the wall. They're going to bounce off the backboard. It's set up in front of the net. No one going to be able to take the shot just yet. Ball up in front. Both teams going back and forth. Garrett set up in goal. Well, I don't know if that is Garrett. The name tags are confusing at the moment. We have the blue team. The Genesis is the blue team. They are currently on the defense. See if they're able to clear this one out of their own half. Pluto tries to take a shot there. Garrett able to pick this one up and push this one back over into Exodus territory.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth you're going to see early, and I'm glad to see so far out of this Exodus team, not only are they pushing it up front in that midfield, but then they're following
Moses with an opportunity. It's Garrett G. It says Moses on the name tag, but it's all right. Garrett G puts the first point on the board for Exodus.
Yeah, Garrett G actually had the first possession put in. He demos a person immediately after taking full advantage of it, and then he turns right around immediately to put it in as well. Garrett G really needs to step up this game to help out his teammate of Moses on the defensive side, and he's doing just that.
3:33 left to go in this game. First point on the board for Exodus, and they are threatening again. Garrett sets this one up off the wall. He's going to try and get a pass, but Quinn is able to interrupt that one, clear it away. Ball still in front of the goal. Pluto gets the touch, sends it up to the midfield, and now is following up with a counterattack. Great play, puts it onto the backboard. Garrett is able to clear it under the wall. Moses is going to try and get this past Espeon, who body blocks, but the follow from Turtle up to Moses, puts it in front of the box. Good clear from Pluto back on the defense.
Right idea from Moses there. He sees the pass come in and tries to tip it back inside for his teammate. Just a little bit too soft, nobody there to follow it up.
Garrett G clears this one back out. Espeon intercepts and leaves it for Quinn, who puts it into the corner. Quinn continues to follow. Moses comes out of goal and pushes it back to midfield. Response from Pluto onto the back wall. Turtle responds, puts it into the corner. Now Pluto, the pinch going to put that one out to midfield. Espeon gets the first touch and clears it into the Exodus corner. Moses doesn't get that one past. Pluto is able to get the touch. Now Espeon with a shot onto the backboard. If anyone can finish this one, they draws out the defenders. This is an opportunity, but Moses with the solid rotation, able to send this one on the net. He's just got to beat out Pluto. Pluto's going to get the presence, get into the corner. Now Garrett G putting that one over onto the side. We're just crossing halftime here as Espeon is able to continue to create this pressure on the Exodus' half. Garrett G needs to respond, but Quinn gets there first, sends it towards the net. Can Turtle get the touch? He puts it off to the side. Great clear from Turtle. Quinn pops this one up. Now Moses to Turtle, see if they can create this counterplay.
Man, you see Genesis' pressure really coming into fruition now. You expected them to shoot that on net with how slow it was played in front of the net. With the fact that no one was there, I'm not sure what's going on defensively, but you can see these guys, and especially with Pluto, how much he stepped up last week, is going to be a big proponent.
Espeon's up for this one, but he gets beat out by Garrett, who puts it onto the far wall. Now Moses tries to get it past Pluto, but he gets the dunk on him and keeps it in the corner. Turtle following this one around, drag racing with Pluto. He's going to get it past that one. Now there's the shot from Garrett onto the backboard. Can they get the follow-up? It's lobbed in front of the goal. Here comes Moses to try and finish. He puts it on the backboard one final time, and there's the shot from Garrett into the fire corner. Well done.
That ball at the top was so close with that shot initially by Garrett, but rotating quick around is Moses, who gets a tap up and just tries to beat any defender. Probably could have had that first shot there, just not enough. But still, Garrett being in a good position to follow up and give themselves that 2-0 lead.
1:44 left to play. So far, it's been all Exodus here in game number 1, 0-2. Favor of Exodus, and they're threatening once more. Turtle tries to get it past Pluto. Pluto very strong on the defense all game, has been able to clear a lot of stuff out. See if what they're able to do here. Espeon whiffs, but that's going to whiff on the read from Exodus. Now Turtle trying to push this one back up. To get it around the corner here, just has to beat Quinn in the corner. It goes in front of the goal. Man, it's such a tight angle. Almost had that shot all by himself, and they're keeping the pressure up. There's another shot.
Man, you're really seeing Exodus here show some patience.
Oh my goodness, well done.
Yeah, Exodus showing patience. You can see that being at this lead. That ball, even though it was carried across the front of the net, they had their players, especially Moses, sitting back and playing a little bit patient. They don't need more goals. They just need to control possession and stop them at the midfield, and that is why they're up now 3-0.
Man, yeah, Moses very, very strong on the offense, especially as an assist player right now, setting up his teammates. See if Genesis is able to respond in any way. This would be quite the comeback. They only have a minute left to work with. Turtle puts this one off the wall. He's going to continue to carry it, sets it up for Moses, who tries to pop it over both players. What a touch. Moses showing up strong.
Secondary touch coming out. Look at him carry this all the way through. So he's following the ball and then just a little bit more subtle boost to the side to catch Quinn off guard. But still, that shot coming out to put that on the far net for Moses. What beautiful placement.
My goodness, and that being probably the nail in the coffin here in game number 1 for Genesis with a minute left. To come back by 4 would be pretty incredible. There's a shot from Quinn, but it's slow enough that Moses is able to clear it away. Turtle puts it onto the far wall. Now just crawling down here. There's another shot from Garrett. Just put one more and just completely seal the deal here. Game 1's going to be going to Exodus.
Right. You see these guys going back and forth, and it's just the follow-up. Garrett kind of shadowing right behind it, just in case if any kind of misdirection does happen, he's there to put it immediately back in. And that's where they're getting beat. It's not that Genesis is playing bad by any means. It's just the clear aggression coming out from Exodus is just insane.
Espeon's trying to set this one out, maybe at least get one kind of morale-boosting goal in on the side of Genesis at this point. If they can just get one more on the board, it would help a lot with the momentum going into game number 2. Pluto going to try and push this one out. Now Espeon picks it up, sends it over the top, but Moses, again, cleared it off to the side. They've been avoiding shots on goal. Exodus has been very strong on defense here in game number 1. Here's an, can they get there? Oh, Pluto whiffs on the touch, but follow-up from Quinn. There they go. He's going to have a little bit of a breakdown of the defensive rotation, but at this point it doesn't matter.
Yeah, a little bit of ball chasing coming out here, as Garrett tries to go up for it despite there already being one, and you see another jump trying to come in, and there's not really a necessary need for it, but when you're up this much, they can kind of get away with mistakes like that.
Yep, and both teams probably moving on to game number 2 already in their minds. Moving on, thinking about what do we need to do, what can we keep on doing. You know, that one goal, I wouldn't even really consider it that important for Exodus at this point. They've already got 5 on the board. They know they're taking the win, and there's one slip through there's going to be all right. Moses tries to keep that one away from his goal. The final countdown, this will be game number 1 going to Exodus.
Yeah, Genesis, it's not that they're doing any one thing wrong. They just really need to get that aggression and kind of match how fast Exodus has been playing. You see, even in the touches like that, like Pluto, really smart there playing that back midfield. It's just he needs to be careful with playing that there without a teammate there to follow it up.
Right. My goodness, just great offensive aggression coming out here in game number 1 with Exodus. See a lot of teamwork coming out. They had 5 goals with 5 assists across the board. Every single goal was a team play. No goal being just one player on fire. But Garrett G, really the finisher here. for this Exodus squad.
Yeah, 4 goals for Garrett, really showing up. And you expected to see Moses play that defensive stance again, but he's actually been playing up a lot, being the major assister for this team. And he's not doing it just in assists, but he's putting shots on net himself and then having his teammates follow it up. So really good played out by Exodus so far. They're taking it to him.
Incredible stuff. 12 shots from this Exodus squad to just 5 from Genesis. A very, very good, strong offensive showing from Exodus, really maintaining ball control. And the thing that I just love so much about this is the five goals and the 5 assists. Everything really playing together as a cohesive unit.
Yeah, and that's tough to find. One of the reasons why I like watching Turtle and Garrett play together is because their pass game is so strong, but Moses actually stepping in right now, which is great, despite him being that defensive effort. But don't count Genesis just out yet. You know they're going to come in strong. There's something that they're going to do some readjustments. The biggest proponent for their team has always been Quinn. When Quinn shows up and makes some crazy passes, that's when those teams go. But it's always his highlights. When Quinn scores, it makes no sense. Like last week, we saw one go off the ceiling and into the net. Stuff like that you can't expect, so they really need to step up as a unit and try to match this team that's beaten I by Power twice now.
Game number 2 will be moving on to Utopia. See if Genesis is able to respond from the aggression from Exodus. As we get underway, a very neutral kickoff. Ball's not even left the middle circle at this point. Moses is going to finally send a shot over towards Genesis. Pluto sends that one up. Turtle responds, keeping it onto the backboard to try and pinch it through. Quinn gets the body block to put it over into the corner. Now Garrett G popping it back out. Right off the bat here, though, we have Exodus up on the aggression again.
Yeah, both teams really taking advantage of using a quick aerial to where they're jumping, tilting their car backwards, and then jumping again while boosting to get up to these aerials very, very quickly. Otherwise, you might have a couple of these sneak in already.
Man, what a pass from Moses to Garrett G to Turtle. If he can finish, this is going to be amazing team play. My goodness, the passing is unreal right now.
Man, Garrett not letting Turtle get anything. This ball was clearly on net. He had the shot, but Garrett still not leaving anything to chance. Going to put that in insult to injury.
My goodness, that was, everyone got a touch on that ball. You didn't see it in the replay there, but Moses just pops it so cleanly off the wall to Garrett, who puts it over to Turtle. Incredible stuff coming out from Exodus right here. Going up again in game number 2. Genesis needs to respond. They have not even gotten the ball out of their own half yet this game.
Yeah, this is what I talk about, that Exodus pressure. They're stopping the ball midfield, even with Quinn trying to stay up and clear this out. That's going to touch very softly into the corner. And despite Espion playing it in, you're expecting to see an Exodus player at this midfield to put it back in. Situations like this where they don't is where Genesis really needs to step up.
Now the wide defensive rotations coming out very, very strong right now for Exodus. You can see all of Genesis kind of grouped up right there. Not the sort of positioning they need, but it's working out at the moment as Espion is able to get a run towards the net. Moses needs to pop this one away. The Turtle, great positioning, able to block the one angle Espion had on the goal.
Yeah, Espion really fighting for it. 3 touches in a row to make something play-wise happen, but it just doesn't seem to matter with the rotations coming out from Exodus.
Turtle pops that one out. Garrett follows it, but Espion able to take it from him, send it into orange. Turtle pops it back out to the middle as Moses rotates onto the defense. Quinn puts it into the corner. Espion chasing Moses right now, trying to get a bully zone on the goalie, trying to get him away. But Turtle able to put it back onto the corner, and now we're going to see the counter play coming out from Exodus. There's Garrett G to Moses. Espion, last line of defense, able to clear it. Turtle's waiting for him as Moses and Garrett both rotate. Garrett, last line of defense set up. He's going to rotate with Turtle. Good, solid rotations. Just the players always picking up the slack left by the last one, always just being right where they need to be to make sure there is no shots onto their own net.
Yeah, Quinn's got to be careful on that shot they just had a little bit ago. He hit that ball.
Oh my goodness, Feels backflip from Garrett, and there's the tie game.
Actually didn't get to see that goal happen. What happened there? Okay, so soft clear, that's why. The ball was played in that corner and just not put out far enough by Turtle. If you would have played a little bit more towards the wall, it would have been a little bit harder hit, but you know Espion's going to be waiting for those.
Yeah, he's not going to miss that one. Saw an opportunity and took it. Tie game here, game number 2. This is the first point, not the first point on the board, but the first real point on the board for Genesis. The last goal only coming in kind of some garbage leftover time in game number 1. 2:50 left to go. Anyone's game at this point. Turtle puts that one out to the middle. No one there to respond. We'll see Quinn be the first one to pick it up and push it into the orange as Moses is able to respond on the wall, sending it back into Genesis territory. Pluto puts it up on the wall, follows it up, and passes up very far onto the backboard. Garrett G's waiting for him and clears it wide. Espion with another shot onto the backboard. Can Turtle get up and into this one? He gets it away before any Genesis player is able to respond, and he takes the shot, takes it all the way from one end to the other. 2-1 in favor of Exodus.
Pluto doing a good job to rotate back very quickly, but the quick transition coming out from this Exodus team, it's tough to read when you're on a 1v2 situation like that. Like,
Absolutely.
does the guy above hit it with an aerial, or which one do I block? So either way, good play and good transition coming out from Exodus.
The lead coming out from Exodus right as we cross into halftime. Anyone can take this at this point. There's another shot from Espeon. No one in goal. Moses finally comes out of the corner. I wonder if that was a situation of people going for boost on kickoff and leaving the net wide open. Pluto puts that one onto the crossbar. Wasn't had an opportunity to score if it had been just a little bit lower, but now Exodus again. Moses sends that one high. Quinn and Espeon rotating into the corner. Pluto set up in goal. Quinn's going to pop this one off the back wall. Espeon tries to fall on it, but gets nothing, and that leaves it for Garrett G, who keeps it in the corner. There's pressure from Exodus. They have been able to punish every whiff. There's another one right there. Turtle punishing the whiff from Pluto. There's the ball right on top of the crossbar. Quinn finally able to clear this one into Exodus's territory, but Exodus has been so strong on the midfield line.
Yeah, it took the words right out of my mouth when the ball was getting put in the mid and they shoved it right back in. It just, the situation seems to be that when they do that, the control afterwards is what really comes into play. And you don't see that from Genesis. So far, Genesis is getting the clears out and they have a couple shot opportunities,
right?
But it's only one. Like, they need to keep putting on the pressure to continue that possession game.
Quinn shoots this one up to Espeon, who passes back. Can Quinn get the angle? Oh, so close there. Great team play coming out from Genesis. A great opportunity to tie it up. They're creating some pressure on the offense. They've managed to transition and keep the ball in the orange for a while. But we're approaching the final minute, and the ball is back in Genesis territory. Espeon picking this one up. Garrett shuts it down, puts it on the backboard. Quinn makes a touch, probably blowing any sort of finisher that was coming in from Exodus. So it's a good solid touch, but a final minute. There's Moses with another shot. Pluto pops it up. Can anyone come in? There's Espeon going to be the first one to the ball, sending that one into the corner. 52 seconds left to work with. They got to score one just to tie.
Good effort by Espeon there, beating the other team up, but that ball's in a dangerous spot.
There's Moses to finish that one. Got it over the top of the goal. He didn't know what to do.
Yeah, sitting in kind of a cemented area. That shot coming in from Garrett, hitting that post, I think it caught him off guard, trying to just rotate something. But the pressure yet again from Exodus stepping up.
44 seconds left. Genesis in a hole again. They're down by 2. There's enough time to come back. We've already seen it once today. The team be down by 2 with less time than this and managed to force the overtime. But Moses sent another one onto net. Turtle tries to finish it, doesn't quite get the angle. Espeon sends that one down. And he gets a nice touch there to keep that one in the middle there, but Garrett recovers very well and sends it onto the far wall. 30 seconds. Espeon going to try and pop this one out to his teammates. Quinn picks it up, but there's Pluto. All 3 players in the corner. Nobody was left to finish it, even if you had gotten it off the wall. I'm not sure why they were positioning themselves that way, especially with the time they have. 14 seconds left at this point. They are really not using their time efficiently at this point. It looks like this game is going to be going over to Exodus.
Yeah, they're just kind of grouping up a little bit too much, and that happens with the breakdowns. Some of the mental games starting to play. It just, when you put the ball that many times into one side, and you just keep getting shut down over and over again.
Absolutely.
It's got to be frustrating trying to determine. And that's where the veteran players are really going to come into play. They need to decide and be like, all right, this is our problem of what's happening. In my opinion, someone needs to help out Espeon because he is working his butt off. It just, there's nobody there to follow it up. Pluto's playing a little bit more of defense, but there's nobody there as that third man to transition into shots.
That was, just like you said, Espeon, really a very strong player up on the offense, doing a lot of work by himself, but just he didn't look like, especially in this game, that he had the support of his teammates to be there when the shot got cleared, when they made the block. If you just had one more person to finish it off, and they had some great plays. I think it was Quinn and Espeon, great passing plays, but in the end, it was Quinn who had to make the shot, and it went just wide. They weren't able to pull it off.
Yeah, there's a couple opportunities that they could have been punished even more for, where Quinn actually followed the ball up. They had 2 or 3 dribbling downfield against one player, and Moses just had a soft touch that went a little high to the right. If they would have, took a little bit of slowing that down, they had all the time in the world, and that's what Genesis needs to be careful of. If you're going to commit to something, make sure that your third player is also willing to commit to it, to put it back in, so that first player that went up can rotate back. And they just haven't been doing that.
Absolutely, and they need to change something. At this point, we have the exact same shot margin, 12-4, or we had 12-5 the first game, but just very, very similar there between these two teams, playing very, very solid, staying consistent with their play. But Genesis, they got to change something up here moving into game number 3.
Yeah, these games are so crucial. Obviously, for those that don't remember, we are playing a series of 5. All 5 games will be played, and all those points do matter, especially for 2 teams that are so closely matched right now in the standings. I mean, they're within 1 game of each other. Obviously, that's starting to swing now in the favor of Exodus, but Exodus has an opportunity here to really separate themselves, and if they can take a couple more games off this Genesis team, it puts them in a very good spot, not only for the online finals, but also LAN.
Well, it's the thing is, it was 12-8 and 11-9. Now it's 13-9 and 12-8. They're still only within 1 game of each other because Exodus was behind by 2, and now they've won 2 straight. So this is really good stuff. Great play there by Garrett, though. Exodus just keeping themselves consistent in game number 3.
And way to redeem yourself there with some NA math, coming out clutch. But coming out clutch there is Garrett being the first one in that midfield and playing it Kind of a little bit of a technical hitting that hitting that post, but still getting it in the net. Early goal here, only 12 seconds going by.
They are striking early in game number 3. We moved on to Manfield. There's Pluto with a good solid, or Espeon with a solid touch to send that one over into Exodus territory. Quinn going to respond, keep it there, send it into the box. Espeon couldn't get the touch. It probably would have gone a little high if he had. Pluto's able to put this one across again. Is anyone there to finish? There's Quinn, but oh my goodness, Garrett getting up on the wall and clearing that one away. Wow.
Yeah, we normally talk about how the direct approach against teams at this caliber is not the way that you want to go, but I would actually like to see Genesis do just that. Just start rifling shots in. Eventually, maybe a defensive breakdown will happen, and then transition to the more complicated stuff. Because as of right now, you don't see anything starting to formulate for this team, especially if Quinn's going to keep whiffing like that.
That's no fun there. Garrett to Turtle, and see if he can get anyone on a side flip from Garrett. Leaves it there, see if Moses can come up from the back and finish. He sends a shot on the net, but it's going to go high on the crossbar. Espeon puts it over into the corner. Nice carry. See if Quinn can pick this one up and push this back out as Exodus rotates onto defense, but the midfield stop from Garrett again, and he gets the 1v1 over Quinn. There's a touch from Moses in front of the box. Espeon, last line of defense. Such a solid play. Just as it looked like Genesis was gaining ball control, Exodus takes it right back.
You can see how both these teams are comfortable in the air, especially when they're both waiting on the wall for a pass to come out. One trying to defend it, one trying to clear it back up on the other side of the field, and it just seems to always go in Exodus's favor.
And Quinn able to send this one towards the net. Now Garrett picking it up and sending it back to the midfield. Espeon going to get some nice aerial defense there and pop it away. But Turtle going to try and set this one towards the mid. Is a good setup. Can Garrett get the backflip on it? Not going to happen as Pluto sends it over to the corner. But this follow-up from Moses back into the box. This ball is spending so much time in the blue box.
Yeah, you can see that Garrett is taking full control of this game after that shot. Despite him popping up really high, he knew he had a teammate back there on rotation ready to follow it in. So he just goes straight for the goalie to leave an open net.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, doesn't get the hit that he's looking for. But still, the fact that he's willing to put himself so much out of position, that shows a lot of confidence in his team.
A solid shot from Quinn. Some good pressure from Genesis. See if they can finish this. Quinn pops that one away, but Turtle takes it from him. 2:50 left to go. Still 1-0 in favor of Genesis, who leads by 2 games in the series. Garrett gets that one around. Turtle plays the mind game and gets it 2-0. My goodness.
Wow, way to bait that hit. Ball coming out. So Turtle sits and sees a player coming to rotate in. He cheeks at it and just stops. Guy goes whizzing by, needs to play the ball in that situation rather than the player.
Amazing, amazing play there from Turtle, putting his team up by 2 in game number 3. Garrett's going to pop that kickoff onto the far wall. Espeon tries to follow up, still very neutral ball. As Quinn is able to pull it away. Espeon over into the mid. Some great passing coming out from Genesis. We'll see if they're able to convert it into a goal. They're going to keep that midfield defense up as Quinn puts it back into the corner. Garrett responds, shoots it back up to the midfield, and no one home on defense. There's Espeon, rotating in from the side. Going to send that one over. A little bit of ping pong coming out from both teams right now, reading each other well on the defense. But you know that Genesis is itching for a goal right now.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned it, that nobody was up there to hit it right away. That ball settled in front so quickly. And the fact that this may cause a problem not only for Genesis, but also Exodus. Exodus we saw in these first couple of games where they were playing such a quick pace. If Genesis actually starts to slow down, I think it might work in their favor.
Ball just kind of at midfield with no one really contesting it. Espeon sends it into orange corner, but Moses is alone and able to clear it away. Turtle goes up for the redirect, but doesn't get the touch, and Espeon clears it into the far Genesis corner. Now he's going to be able to play that one off the wall, sends it back up to midfield. Turtle picks it up. He's going to try and get it under Quinn. He bullies Quinn into the air, but Pluto able to come up from goal and push this back out. Moses shuts it down, keeping this ball in Genesis territory. Their mid-line defense is so good. They keep the ball from rotating into their own half. They're right there again. Garrett putting it straight back into the blue. Such strong plays from Exodus.
Yeah, we talked about this match about how Moses really should step up and try to stop these from midfield, and he's doing just that. Despite the 39 saves, you're not going to see that stat really come into play with how much they're punishing these guys.
Garrett G popping that one away. See if they can create another goal and just finish this one off. Moses sending that one onto net. It looked like the goalie was right there, but he was too far back.
Yeah, goalie sitting in that gives position, trying to rev up and try to save it, but he's kind of getting caught off guard here. That ball.
Oh, he got caught on the post.
Oh, that's what happened. When you hit that lip, sometimes you get caught off in the air. And yeah, if you just roll into it, you're going to sit in the same position that you were anyway. He needed to land as quickly as possible, just not that easy.
There's a minute left to work with from Genesis, but this has kind of been the story of every game so far. They just slowly but surely over the course of the match get further and further in the hole. Pluto trying to finish that one off, but Mooses sends it into the corner. Mooses, like a Canadian, like Moose.
Oh,
I don't know, that's something Leaf would say.
Are you
Anyways,
Leaf? Are you Leaf?
I'm not. I'm definitely, that's not true. Happy Murica Day, right? Anyways, ball still in the corner. Garrett G to try and pop this one away. As this is how the last game ended as well, where they were down. They really needed to be playing aggressive, but they couldn't even get a shot on the net. Genesis has yet to be able to create the aggression they need to score on Exodus.
Yeah, Exodus just does such a good job of spreading out and working the entire field. You see Genesis starting to try to match that, and they've actually been doing a pretty solid job. It's just the shots like that coming out from this Exodus team, and then the follow-up right after is what is making them so dangerous.
We've seen Genesis be very solid in net, but as we've said countless times, you don't want to, they've been solid in net, but we've seen Exodus be solid at the midfield line and not even let the shots get close. And here we have just, it's such a weird situation as that ball almost goes in on Pluto's touch. Final second of gameplay, game 3, going to Exodus again. They are 3-0 in the series right now. Genesis needs to change something up, or this is going to be rough.
Yeah, we talked a little bit earlier in this week about how Exodus has a really good chance to separate themselves, and this series itself, battling with, I think they were third when they were known as Vex last season. If they can really step up and secure them spot against and maybe get an easier kind of game, because fighting against the iBuyPowers and the Kings of Urbans, I mean, that's a tough setup. So if they can not only get some money with it too, that'd be pretty sick.
They have 7 shots. A little bit. They changed up the shots here, 7 to 3 instead of the 12 to 5 we had. There were 7 shots from Exodus, 3 saves, and then 3 goals. That means there was only 1 shot that was off target. So some great accuracy coming out here from this Exodus squad. Genesis trying to stand up in net, but ultimately they got to be able to score if they want to pull this off.
Right, goals obviously mattering the most, but it's hard to get those goals when they're getting beat at midfield over and over again. You see it just shoved right back at them. They need to find a way to have that be on their side instead. They need to come out lights blazing, otherwise they're going to be in big trouble. They need points.
Who is a player on Genesis that you feel like should be stepping up right now for his team?
The reason why they were sitting in first place at the beginning of today is because of Pluto. Pluto really needs to come up. I mean, he was 3rd in defense for saves. I need him to transition that into offense if this team's going to stand a chance.
Game number 4. Moved on to Manfield. A storm has broken out. Freak thunderstorm involved over the last 60 seconds. Quinn's going to be able to pick this one up, send it onto the far wall, try and set it up for his teammates. Doesn't trust Espion to make the touch. Pops that one back out to mid. Pluto puts it back down in the box. It's been good, solid aggression from Genesis, though. They've been able to maintain ball control for these first 15 seconds. That's a first for them in the series. This is what they need to continue to build upon as we move forward in game 4.
That ball, despite getting put back out, that's where the difference between these two teams has been. Exodus would normally put that right back in, and that's what Genesis needs to do. They need to, after that ball gets that big first initial clear, shoved right back in.
Did you see that? Is this gonna? Yeah, okay. I don't know if this will show up in the replay, but Moses and Garrett G were like bullying each other in the corner. Turtle's left alone to make the clear. No one's there to finish it off for him, and Quinn is a free shot. That's the lead for Genesis.
Yeah, it's gotta feel good, man. Between those two, capitalize on the mistakes that they're making.
Absolutely.
It's been quite very few for the Exodus team, but that's what these teams at that higher level do, is if you see a mistake, you need to make those shots, and so far, this is their chance.
Turtle pops that one out. Garrett finishes it and makes it a tie game. My goodness, just when you thought Genesis might have a chance, there goes Exodus to snuff it out.
Man, Exodus really taking full advantage. Turtle getting that extra touch, beating the defender up on the wall, and plays it back in. Good answer by Exodus coming out.
And that placement from Garrett G.
Right.
Put it over to the side, away from Pluto. Excellent stuff. My goodness. Tie game. 4:19 here left to go in game number 4. Moses pops out. He's waiting for this one. He's going to try and clear it into the far side. Puts it over to Garrett G, who sends that one towards the net. Quinn is able to pop it back up to midfield, but Garrett responds. Such a fast rotation from Exodus. They have a tie game here in game number 4. There's a shot from Moses, but Quinn is able to pop that one away. We'll see if Pluto's able to carry it away. He kind of just pops it back down to Quinn, leaves it to Garrett. See if Garrett can pop this one out to Turtle. He knows the pass is there, tries to get the angle. Espion reads it and is able to shove it away. But again, Moses, that midline defense coming up strong. Again, Exodus is not letting anything happen and maintaining all the ball control.
Well, even with that uncharacteristic pinch coming out from Pluto, Moses was sitting there waiting up top to hit it back in. And it's tough when those shots come out. Like, everything you're trying is getting, like you said, snuffed out. Stuff like that, like a soft pass down, you have a player there waiting, and just nothing.
Turtle pops that one to the middle. Garrett puts it into the corner. It's going to bounce out. Pluto's able to pick it up and send it back into Exodus territory. Garrett G on the rotation. He's just watching it. Lets Turtle take the shot. Solid rotation, trusting his teammates. Espion's going to send this one to the backboard, but Garrett G puts it into the corner, and now Moses rotates out, able to push it back out. Amazingly strong defense, just always trusting their teammates to make the touches that they have. There's Quinn going to send that one out and away. Great solid clear down the entire line, but Turtle waiting for that one. Pops it up. Garrett G puts some more speed on it, back into blue corner.
Yeah, back and forth, the quick transition.
Oh my goodness, upside down, backflip and goal. That was incredible.
Garrett was the one that popped this into the corner. The fact that he's going to boost into the middle and be the first one to take a touch after Espeon misses it, like, what hustle coming out from Garrett G.
Yeah, he's done this a couple times where he gets the touch, someone else on Genesis pops out to the middle, and then he responds again. Amazing presence, but also trusting his teammates to make their touches as well. Amazing stuff coming out from Exodus, just showing such a strong clinic on team play and how teamwork can win you games. A ball out of the midfield, Garrett goes for it, but Pluto wins the 1v1. He's got an opportunity in the corner if he can pop this off the wall. Wasn't sure what to do with it. Exodus is able to rotate well. Moses picks this one up, passes up to Turtle, who gets it out into the middle. There's the hit from Espeon to clear it away from the goal, but there's Moses on the wall to keep that ball in the corner.
Yeah, very, very minimal hesitation coming out from the Exodus team. That seems to be it. Any shots that they're going with intent. And those passes that follow up after, you can tell this team is very comfortable with who they have.
Turtle pops that one around. Pluto chose for the touch, but isn't there, and Moses finishes it off, capitalizing on the defensive mistake.
Smart play on Moses. As soon as he rotates out, he collects the boost, and rather than just double backing, he sits patiently and waits. A big clear would spell trouble for them, but despite how Genesis has been playing, I honestly don't think they need to worry about it.
Man, this Exodus is just looking so strong right now, clearly making a case for that number 3, number 4, that top 4 spot that they're all looking for. They have taken it so strong to Genesis right now, putting that one over onto the side. Genesis, if they can just get one win out of this series, that'll be very strong for them. Again, because they're all so close at the moment. They did have the game lead moving into this series right now, so they're not as far behind as the score margin might indicate at this point. But they really need to be able to pull off any wins off of any of these teams just to stay competitive. There's Espeon going for the solo plays, but Garrett G able to clear it away. 143, 1-3. Genesis has got to start making it happen right now.
Yeah, when that ball's in front of the net like that, you need to get up and put something on it. But you see all 3 players just saying, like, do you have it?
Oh my goodness, Garrett is just, oh my goodness. That was such a beautiful air carry there. Espeon able to get in the way of that one. I kind of almost wish he hadn't. It was so pretty.
Yeah, it's all about those highlights, right?
Right, Moses sent another one on the net. Quinn pops it out. Good thing that he did, too, because Moses was there to clear it, or Turtle was there to finish it off. Garrett G gets it past Quinn. He's going to get it past Pluto. Puts it onto the backboard. Anyone there to shoot it? No, not going to happen. Espeon able to clear that one away. Pluto gets a touch. He's got an opportunity for another one. There's a point on the board. They got a minute left to equalize.
Good job on Pluto, staying comfortable here. Gets the 50-50 in his advantage, getting over the course. Ball gets played back in and pushed right to him to put it in the back of the net. The fact that they're only within 1 now at 1 minute and 5 left, they still have plenty of time to tie this up. Come back, get at least 2 wins here, put yourself in a good position for later today.
Absolutely. We had the desk predicting 3-2 games. This is when they have to start making it happen. Espeon makes the shot, the save from Turtle. Pluto keeping the pressure on, but Turtle is able to clear it again. Amazing stuff from Exodus, pushing this one out. Final minute of gameplay. They're turning up the heat. Quinn puts that one down. Garrett able to clear it away. A fantastic touch from Garrett, killing any shot opportunity that Genesis would have had on at that moment right there. Turtle crosses this one in front of the goal. Quinn puts it away, and good thing he did. There was another player there. Garrett was there to finish it. Moses is going to take another shot on the net. Here comes the counter aggression from Exodus. Pluto's going to try and body block this one. Great vector block, keeping any shot from Turtle from materializing. Espeon puts that one over. 30 seconds. Here they come. Is there anyone back? Quinn takes the shot. Oh, but Garrett from the corner, keeping his team up. 23 seconds left. They're back on the aggression. Turtle mind games him out. He knows he's just got to kill the clock at this point. Pluto's putting that one out to the mid. Moses to Garrett. Can they finish this? Espeon takes a shot on the net. Because Moses get there. He gets the touch. He gets the angle away from the net, but Pluto's going to try and finish this one. Oh my goodness, Espeon was right there. It was so close. Final countdown. It can happen, but Garrett's going to try and finish it right now. Quinn keeps it out of the goal. They got to carry it across the whole field. He's going to put it up onto the wall. Anyone there? Espeon keeps it, but Moses just pushing it away. Trying to create anything from creation. Oh my goodness, in front of the goal though. Wow, what a finisher to the regulation.
Got some breath now?
Oh my goodness, these guys are crazy.
I'm sure they're feeling the same way. Back and forth between these two teams, really battling out and trying to secure those points. It just, those shots, they have such close opportunities right in front of the net, and there's just not that third man to come in and take that goal. Between the two, they've been so close, and you can tell that they're really starting to step up with that aggression. They're really matching this team. It's just, why are they waiting to do it when there's only a minute left in the game?
Yeah, no, you got to be going just all out right now. That's 4 games in a row for Exodus. They came so close to keeping that 3-2 score margin alive. This is the best aggression, like you said, we've seen for them all series long. That's 8 shots coming out from Genesis. That's their highest so far. But also, I think this is 13 coming out from Exodus, which is their highest as well. Both teams really stepping it up.
Yeah, really good aggression coming up from Exodus. Exodus is looking like a very strong contender to take a lot more games off. This is actually the easiest, like Exodus is up there with iBuyPower as having the easiest schedule this week.
Sure.
And if they can really take these games, that's going to be crucial because Genesis is one of their harder matches today. For Genesis, completely opposite. They're in the middle of the road with games that they have to play, and they need these wins. And if Exodus is going to be able to run away with a 5-0, that is going to be huge.
Game 5. All comes down to this. Genesis, if they want to take anything out of this series, they got to do it right now. Ball moving over in Genesis's favor, but it gets shut down by Moses, sends it away. Pluto comes from the back, able to put it up into the corner. But Garrett G responds again. Midfield defense coming up strong once more. Not a lot of speed on the ball just yet, but both teams just kind of ramping this one up. Turtle back in goal. So Pluto tries to set this one up. Turtle's going to get, oh, but Pluto carries it away for him. Turtle didn't even have to touch that one, and now Pluto very loose in the corner as Turtle pushes this one around.
Yeah, coming out early with this team. Now it's just a matter of how you're going to see Exodus respond, and so far it's been exactly what we've characterized in this series so far. They beat them at the midfield and then push it up and then control it. Yet again, Garrett going up early and doing it again and again. Like the pressure.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow, Pluto with a save. I didn't even see him there. He kind of blended into the box. Turtle keeping the follow-up. Can Moses get the final shot? No, Espion keeps it away, but it all started with the, oh, can he get it again? Pluto once more. It all started with a save from Pluto. It ends with a save from Pluto. This offensive was so good from Exodus, but they stood up in goal. They're keeping this one on. They're keeping the pressure up, but at this point, I don't know. I think Espion might be able to clear this one away. He's getting it over the line. There we go. Back over into the orange. My goodness, the defense holding strong for Genesis.
Good determination coming out from this Genesis team. They know they need points here, and you can see it in how they're playing defense. Now they just need to transition that into offense, but it just seems like Exodus every single time stops them from anything, kind of formulating.
Right. Turtle going to try and pop this one off the corner. Gets it past Pluto. Moses is waiting for it. Man, just the position is so amazing from these guys. They know exactly where they need to be. Quinn able to send that one up to the mid, but Garrett gets that one over the top and puts it onto the far wall. Follow from Garrett again? He touched it. I don't know how he did that. Please go in. There we go. Because I just wanted to see this on the replay. He pops it off the wall and then follows it himself over onto the edge.
Really actually takes a little bit of patience on that one, which is really smart. You knew he used almost all of his boost, but he takes a little stutter, gets the boost again, and then comes in and takes a shot on net. That placement is really tough, but those need to be saved.
Those, we've talked all series about how strong the team play has been come from Exodus. That one was all Garrett. Just 3 touches in a row. Amazing stuff from this player. Really stepping it up from his team. Amazing accuracy. He's popped that one away. That one's in front of the goal, but Moses able to put it away before Quinn can get the touch. Espion keeping the pressure up. Can Quinn get a redirect? He tried. Not going to happen at this point. Very, very close one there for Exodus. Genesis trying to tie it up as much as they can, but Garrett standing up strong in goal, clearing that one away.
We're seeing Genesis doing a much better job of pressure so far in these last 2 games of the series, where they're coming back and forth and controlling a little bit. Defense is getting up and they're matching very well on how many shots that this Exodus team has been putting, but they're controlling a little bit more pressure. Even small pops like that allow them to maintain possession.
They tried, but then right as they thought they had an opportunity, Exodus takes it from him. Garrett tried to finish that one, didn't quite have the angle. Espion pops that one away. Now it's back in the middle. Garrett gets it past Pluto to make it 2-0 right here at halftime.
Garrett, good placement using the hood of his car here. Ball gets read in a 50-50 from Espion, bringing it across field, and Garrett just waiting patiently, gets it and pushes it with the nose, jumping up and rotating his car to get the strongest spark to put some pressure on and getting a goal again.
And he's been doing that to Pluto all series, just knowing exactly where he is in net and just being able to know the shot's coming in. I know where the goalie is. Let's put it the one place the goalie's not. Pluto has an opportunity to score. Sends that one on the net. Oh, and he gets it past Garrett. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, finally getting one here, bringing it within 1 yet again. Just a little bit of a defensive mistake here. Garrett's trying to get up and save it. Just hard to reach because he's using that angle and actually puts a little bit too much on it.
That would have been a crazy save from Garrett. This, oh my goodness, coming from the corner, getting that angle. But Pluto able to stand up strong, get his team on the board here right over halftime. They're only down by 1. They very well can take this game number 5, make it a 4-1 series, get something out of it. Pluto going to try and clear this one up. Moses is waiting for it, puts it up on the wall and follows. He gets it past Quinn, puts it over into the box, but Espion responds, sending it back up. Quinn's very aggressively positioned, lets the ball go. It's in the corner. He responds, turns around, trying to get it past Moses, who just kind of sits whitely there and lets Quinn get the touch. We'll see what they're able to do here.
Man, that was actually really smart by Moses. Despite him being in a very disadvantage in that corner with the offense being on the side, he knew he had 2 players that were going to be rotating back in the net. So even if he did make a mistake, he was fine.
Oh, Pluto makes the amazing touch in net to take that one away. He had 2 guys coming in to try and finish it. Moses pushes that one up. Pluto continues to maintain ball control and push it into Exodus territory. Now Espeon picks it up. 2 players on the wall for Genesis. As that ball moves over, Quinn's going to put it onto the far side, but they're low on boost. Espeon's able to finish and get the tie. Excellent play, excellent presence.
Good job by Espeon. Despite following this through, he completely stops and lets Quinn take the shot. That ball going high makes Garrett come out, and Moses trying to rotate it and gets the corner. He's kind of just flipping around on the goal, but the follow-up from Espeon after that, beautiful shot.
We've talked all game about how Exodus's teamwork is what has kept them in there. Right there, you saw Quinn had an opportunity, and he left it. He said, Quinn, you do the thing, you set me up, and now they have a tie game here in game number 5. 1:25 left to go. Garrett going for the upside-down goal, puts it onto the backboard. Pluto tries to get it away. No touch. Oh, the Espeon's backwards play there to put it into the corner. I don't know if it was luck or intentionality, but it worked out for Genesis there, keeping this game all tied up at 2 with 1 minute left to go.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth. You're going to see these teams try to finally, I guess, set up some passes, and so far they haven't been able to do that, but you see it coming back and forth.
Oh my goodness, there's Turtle to take the lead. The setup from Moses onto the ceiling corner.
Yeah, huge and very tough to read. He pops that up really, really high. Pluto tries to go up and hit it out, as he's so good at making those Spider-Man clears, as we call. But if you miss them, it's very rough because that ball is going to settle right in front of the net.
And it's one of the most difficult things to clear, just like you just said, because it went right up there in the corners. The ball dropped straight in front of the net. Turtle knew exactly where it was, and that's going to be the lead for Exodus here in game number 5. A minute down. Genesis needs 1. They've been here so many times. Hopefully they can pull it off this time. There's Quinn with a shot, and that's going to be a tie game. They're able to equalize. Let's go.
Gorgeous pass play coming out from this Genesis team. Getting a huge clear coming out from Espeon, and Quinn gets up in front of 2 defenders to play it over the top into the back of the net. These guys won at least 1 point, and they are fighting for it.
They have nothing to lose. They have a spot in the top 4 to lose at this point. They have so much to fight for. We'll see what they are able to pull off. There's Turtle going to put that one up onto the backboard. Pluto responds, puts it in the corner. Quinn and Espeon both hanging in goal. Now Moses waits this one out. Able to put it off the back wall. Turtle going to respond with an angle onto net, but he got it off the bottom of his car as a weak touch. Quinn able to clear it away. Moses keeps it in the corner. Espeon responds. Moses going to try and carry this one away from his goal. Sets it down to Garrett, who sends it onto net. Not quite, a little bit wide, but Pluto keeps it in the corner. But Moses responding. Great counter rotation from Exodus. 15 seconds left. Anyone's game. Turtle putting this one away as Quinn tries to get it off the backboard. Final countdown. Espeon to Quinn. Can they get there? It's just sitting in front of the goal. Can anyone? Where's the third from Genesis? Pluto hanging so far back. He had an opportunity, but at this point, it's at the 1 second. No one touching it. Overtime in game 5.
You actually saw Quinn going for demos there. He expected Pluto to come up and take that hit, and they just didn't. That pressure completely gone, and it's going to possibly spell trouble for them. So far, it's been an issue this entire series, and games like that, they need to fix.
Oh, Moses gets it over 1, tries to get it past Espeon, but it's in the corner. Espeon's the only one back as Turtle pops it down to the middle. No one able to finish it from Exodus, but they're keeping the pressure up. Moses puts it off the backboard. Quinn pops it out. Espeon puts it back onto the far wall. Now he's going to respond himself, but Garrett's there first. Puts it off the backboard. Pluto reads it and puts it onto the wall again. Just going in circles this ball is right now. Onto the backboard. Now Turtle going to keep it on the backboard. Can they finish it? There's a shot from Garrett, and oh my goodness, his touch goes just a little wide of the goal. An opportunity missed, but they're keeping it up. Moses pops it up again. See if Genesis can finally get this one out of their own half, but there's Turtle to finish the game. The 5-0 going for Exodus.
The defense just breaking down from Genesis, even with this ball up in the air. All 3 players on this corner and following it and cheating up way too hard.
Yep.
Easy clear and easy goal for this Exodus team to secure a 5-0 in probably their toughest match of the day.
Absolute amazing play from Exodus, really showing up strong. And you do got a feel for Genesis there at the end. They had been just kept in their own half the entirety of overtime. They're like, let's change it up, let's all move out together. But at the minute that midfield defense came up strong, there was no one in goal. That midfield defense turned into a long shot for Turtle, takes the win.
Right, even when that clear was coming up from Espeon, you saw a Turtle up in the air for it. He was waiting for it. And as a player on the back, you need to recognize that stuff. As it's coming back in, why is nobody in net? Why is one cheating underneath who can't even get a good touch on the ball in the first place? Especially when you have another player to your right. Like, it's just, it was poor. It was poor defense, and they got punished for it. That's what good teams do.
Moses continuing the journey to the promised land. Taking his team all the distance to 5-0. Amazing stuff. We'll be passing it back over to the analyst desk. Axel Toss, guys, back to you.
Thanks, guys. Pretty interesting matchup there between Exodus and Genesis, both very evenly matched coming in today. Exodus with the 5-0. And I think the one thing they kept saying that just underlined the whole thing, in my opinion, team play. I think it was great team play overall from Exodus, and I really think you never really know who's going to come up with the big play because they all have the ability. Moses, Turtle, and Garrett just come out and score goals.
But Garrett is making a name for himself to be the #1 player right now in North America. He's looking so good. He's put in a ton of work this past month. It's really starting to show.
It really is. I mean, he just made 56% of his team's goals, and he made 10 of the 18 goals on his team in that series. Just incredible. He's always where he needs to be. And just overall, the pressure that team put on, the midfield pressure that we're talking about a lot at the booth, just constant midfield pressure. They never let the ball get away from their control.
And part of that is just being first to the ball, too, which involves being very confident with your play, which I think Exodus really showed. Let's take a look at the Mobile One high-performance replay from that match. A lot of awesome highlights, guys.
And we're going to start with the Turtle play. What a great aerial dribble, but Moses, knowing exactly when to touch that for the redirect shot was insane. That's a really hard play for Moses to read.
He gets it over the defenders as well, and yet another passing play from Exodus. We're now going to have Garrett passing it up to the top post, just really close, but Moses coming in. It's those, just knowing to be there when your team needs you is a big part of what they can do.
And it was hard for Quinn because it was off the post, so you can't really do much here. This is just a mistake. You can't miss that ball. I think that was Espion on the wall, just completely whiffing. And that's what Genesis was doing a lot, just a lot of whiffs, and then Garrett would finish and finish and finish again and again.
Yeah, but at the same time, again, coming in right for that save, Garrett, I don't want to talk too much about just one single player, but he just shines so well on every possession of the field.
But at the same time, that play, Quinn needs to pass that to Pluto. He needs to set up more passes for Genesis to get better quality shots. And then here, Espion, he looked off this whole series. He kind of just gave that one to Turtle. Not much that Genesis could do there because they were all in that corner. Espion has to take his time with that and dribble it out for what he used to do all the time for clears, take his time. But it seemed like they were just panicked the whole series because the ball was in their end 75% of those games.
Yeah, and there were a lot of times they just give up possession. They'd just hit it along the sidewall. It would just be riding up. And some of them Exodus would just come pound it back in. And then they'd hit it back along the sidewall again. And then would get hit back in. And they were just never able to really get their right positioning they wanted because they were constantly having to make saves or keep it from getting in front of their net.
Plus, I think there was no one to blame on Genesis. I think all three did not step up at all. All three looked extremely quiet here. Pluto really didn't do much. Espion was not the goal scorer that we're used to seeing. They only scored 7 goals that whole series, and you said before, Garrett had 10 goals by himself on the other side.
It felt like the synergy wasn't there, not necessarily the Genesis we've seen, but they do have some room. They do have some time to get back into this series. Again, Genesis, one of those in contention for that top 4. They have to basically 5-0 the rest of the way, or just play really well the rest of the way after this 0-5 against Exodus. Any other major adjustments you want to mention for Genesis moving forward as the day continues?
Genesis basically just has to forget this happened. Now it seems like Exodus probably has that spot over Genesis. They probably guarantee to land there as long as they play well against Selfless and Mock. But Genesis has to play Retrospect, I believe, next. So they need to just regroup and get ready for that game because that's going to be for that 4th playoff spot probably.
Yeah, and Exodus has put themselves in a fantastic spot. I mean, again, they actually beat Out by Power in their set, and then they just 5-0 Genesis, which is supposed to be one of their other extremely difficult matchups. So overall, they're putting themselves in one of the best places they can.
All right, we're approaching the halfway point of the broadcast today here on twitch.tv/Rocket League. Thank you all for tuning in. We're going to have Rocket League action all day long today and tomorrow for the Rocket League Championship Series. Coming up next is going to be Retrospect versus Mocket NA, as all these teams from North America trying to be the top 4 to advance to the international final in Hollywood. Guys, plenty more Rocket League coming your way. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.